So there's a lot of people in this exact situation today, and there's a lot of people that's single, man and woman. And I have some powerful words to tell you guys today in this video. There's a lot of people living in fear, bro. There's a lot of women living in fear. There's a lot of men living in fear. And fear is a state of mind, which stands for false evidence appearing real. Let me say that one more time. False evidence appearing real. It's not real. It's a mindset which you choose to succumb to, which you choose to allow to take over. Yeah, you choose it. Oh, no, I don't. It's just how I feel. You can change that. Maybe not like this. Through your own actions, through your own beliefs, through your own contributions and how you move in life is how you can change that. There's so many men today, like the thoughts that run through their mind, like, am I going to be single forever and all this stuff, and they fear that they're going to be single forever. The only thing that you should fear, which you should let and allow this fear to push you, to motivate you, is the fear of not becoming the best possible version of yourself, because that's how you don't get the things in life that you want. Even if you're in a relationship, even if you're not in a relationship, you shouldn't fear losing your partner if you're in a relationship. Why? And it's not that you just don't care about them or you just don't, it's not that. You should love them and you should be at peace with whatever God wants to happen. That's how it should be. Because why would you tie so much to that when you don't know for sure if that's what God wants? I'm talking for all of you guys in a relationship, because everyone's in a different situation in their relationship. Why have so much fear about a result that you really have no control over? You have no control over it, bro. If your girl wants to step out and get side smacked by some other dude, you have no control over that, so why should you live in fear about it? Or her leaving or whatever happens? Why? We have to live with acceptance of things that happen in life. You guys have no idea how empowering it is. You just have no clue. Maybe a few of you do because you're living that way. But for those of you that don't live that way, you ain't got a clue, man. You ain't got a clue how empowering it is. Like I said, the only thing you should fear, which this fear should be a key motivator in your life, is to have the fear of not becoming who God set you out to be in His image. The way He wants you to be, the way He wants you to act and behave and become in general. That's what you should fear. You should fear on skipping out on work that you should have done. You should fear not doing the deep inner work that it takes to heal. You should fear the things that you have control over, not things you don't have control over. Because guess what? You might have some control in the relationship, but not all of it. It's 50-50. There's you and there's them. You can't control their side. You can't control if your partner cheats. You can't control if your partner steps out. So why live in fear about it? Live with acceptance. But you do have control over yourself and your actions and what you do, and as long as you come through on that, you don't have to live in fear, but rather any bit of fear you feel, because fear does exist, you use that to motivate you to feel even less of it. If you think of it this way, cage fighters, UFC fighters, they feel overwhelming amounts of anxiety and pressure because there's another man in the world that's been training all his life, and now he signs a contract to fight you within the next 2 to 5 months. So he's focused on you to take you out. Imagine that. Imagine knowing in the back of your head, there's somebody in the world, let's say if you're a dude, there's another dude in the world who's already in crazy shape, who already has crazy fighting abilities. He's going to train specifically for you, and he knows everything about you. He watched footage on you. He did all this stuff for 2 to 5 months, because some fights are a little earlier. Some fights, they could get set and half a year later it happens. So they have that amount of time to focus solely on you, to come up with a game plan and to train specifically to take you out. Tell me you're not going to be nervous. Tell me you're not going to have some anxiety and some fear about that situation, because every fighter does. John Jones does, the greatest MMA UFC fighter of all time. He knows how to harness the anxiety. He knows how to harness the fear to use it to his power. So in the moment, he executes and he wins. He puts the fear in his opponents. And of course, his opponents fear him as well. Fear is a real thing, but you don't have to give it more power than it needs. That means harnessing that, overcoming things. So this is how we have to live in life, in every single metric, even outside of relationships. But I just think, bro, there's a lot of things going on in the world today. And a lot of people are very worried. A lot of people are very concerned that they're not going to find their partner and they're going to die alone. They're not going to have a family and all this kind of stuff. But if you can just control who you are, the man you're becoming, the woman you're becoming, there's nothing to fear. The right thing is going to be there. The right thing is going to take its place. The results are going to happen for both man and woman who understands these things. It's about us. It's about who we become. It's about how we can contribute. That's what it's about. So, we do the work that's necessary. We do the work that's needed. And it's going to pay off in tenfold. But if we don't do that work, then what do you expect? You'll probably feel 10 times the fear, 10 times the anxiety. Because in the back of your head, you know you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're avoiding it. You're not doing it. You're not taking accountability. You're not showing up to the gym. You're not keeping yourself healthy. You're not trying. You're making excuses. You're not trying. You could be doing more. You could be doing better, but you're not. So that's what it takes. And for somebody like me, bro, you guys ain't got a clue how hard I grinded, especially in my early to mid 20s. You just have no clue. Like, too much. Overworked. And now, it's a struggle to tone back. It's almost a bonus if I can keep myself out of the gym some days to not overdo myself. That's how much I've overdone myself. It's a chore for me to hold back. And it's the opposite for most people. It's a chore for most people to get into gear, to get going. That's the thing. And I find myself needing more rest now more than I ever have in my life. But once I get that rest, it's time to go. It's almost like my gas tank, bro. Like we all have this gas tank where it's like low, it's high, it's medium. Bro, when my gas tank is at high, which almost never happens, I have so much energy. I could just grind and grind and grind and grind and grind all day and like nothing else. But my gas tank is usually around medium to lowish all the time. I usually never can rest to just replenish my gas tank all the way up. And if I do it, it's like, it's not that often. It feels good, but there's so much work to do. There's so many things to do. It's tough. But my point here is it's not a struggle for me to do the work. It's a struggle for me to pull back, to actually get the rest that is needed. And for most people, it is the opposite, which I don't understand, because you have so much energy, but yet you're not doing anything with it, which that is why you have the results you have. There's almost too much energy built up, and man, it would drive me nuts. Like I would have to just literally get out of the house and just run down the road or something. I just don't get how people do it. But like I said, man, it is up to us to become the men and women we're supposed to be. And when it comes to relationships, we should not live in fear about it. I personally always had an abundant mindset towards dating because I know who I am. Like, I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. I know my worth. I know my value. I literally know where it's at. It's not like I think I'm so much better than I am or I undermine myself. I know exactly where I stand. I know exactly what I deserve. And that's where we have to be. There's a lot of people that's delusional, bruh. There's a lot of women that's delusional, bruh. They be overweight, on the older side, thinking they're gonna get some man that makes like $500,000 a year. And rich, successful, good looking, charming, tall, strong, handsome, all these things. That's just pure delusion. It doesn't exist. And those are the people, bro, that will fall because you're not recognizing who you are. You're just simply not. So what do? We do a lot of work. We recognize exactly who we are, where our value's at. We don't settle for less because we know who we are. We can stay patient. The ball's in our court. We are humble. We hustled. We're humble. We got the results. We're gonna keep going. We're not impatient. We're very patient. God's gonna do what God is going to do. And there's no need to sit or harp in fear because of other people. Oh, I fear I'm not going to have many friends. Oh, I fear my family's not going to be there. Oh, I fear the girl's going to leave. Oh, I fear my husband's going to leave me and divorce me. Maybe none of that would happen if you were just better to begin with. Maybe it wouldn't. Did you ever think about that? A lot of people don't. Because they're delusional. They're not fully understanding who they are. They're not fully understanding that they have to be better. We all have to get better. Bro, when I was like even in my early 20s, I felt I was good. And I was, but I'm not what I am today. Why? Let's say I was 21. I'm 29 now, right? That's 8 more years of grinding and focus and determination and learning and knowledge and experience. How could I possibly not be better when all those things took its place? We're talking you got more confidence, you got more swagger, You got more life momentum. You get all these things rolling. How could you not be better? Of course you will be. But even when I was, let's say, 21, I still felt I had a lot of confidence. I still felt the world was at my fingertips. I still felt I had all the potential to do amazing things in life. It's because of hard work and self-belief. I was working my ass off when I was 21. Was I where I wanted to be? No, because I was too young to be. I got friends right now that's around that age, 22, 23 and stuff like that. Solid dudes, work hard and stuff, but they're not happy with the results in their life, and you're not going to be at that age. I wasn't. I was not happy with the results of my life at 24 or 25. Things take time. Life takes time. That's why we have to stay grounded, stay in the trenches, and stop living in fear and understand that all the work you're doing is going to pay off so damn much, bro. Like so damn much. While everyone else and all your old mates goes to the Legion every weekend and all that crazy stuff, you weren't. You were focused. You were determined. Like you were on a mission to be the best possible version of yourself that can exist. That's what you did. That's what they didn't do. And it's going to show, because you're not going to get rewarded for drinking beers every weekend and working half hard during the weeks and eating whatever you want and just not being disciplined. That's not discipline. Eating whatever you want, drinking, doing all that stuff and all these little pleasure things is not discipline. You're not disciplined. Maybe if you drink once every couple months, go out that much, once every couple months, eat some bad food or a cheat meal on the weekend or something, sure. I could call you disciplined then. I can't call you disciplined if you're drinking every weekend. I can't call you disciplined if you're eating bad foods all the time throughout the duration of the week. I can't do it because you're not. Our actions speak louder than anything else will. What we do through our actions on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis is going to show up in dividends later on. As you were patient for 5, 10, 15 years, the results are going to show. And it's going to be something you're going to like. Other than that, it's not going to be something you're going to like. You probably will live in fear and have your questions and your doubts about who you're going to be with and, oh my God, and all this stuff. And here's the thing too. You could be the best version of yourself. It's still tough to be in the right relationship today because it does take two. So, even then, man. But I genuinely believe you being your true self, you being the best that you can be, you will end up with who you're supposed to be with regardless. You just have to make sure that you are in direct alignment with who you are. And it should be fairly easy for you to achieve that. Should be fairly easy. So last and final message, I don't want you guys living in fear. I want you guys to live in abundance, even during the hard times. Understand that the things you're doing today and all that work you're putting yourself through, it's all for a reason. You're not doing it for no reason. You're not doing, like some people are doing that work and they still think, oh my God, like what if I do all this and nothing even happens? Bro, there is not one time in my life, there wasn't a single day that I was ever alive while I was in the trenches doing all that work where I thought to myself, oh my God, like what if I do all this work and nothing happens? That never happened once, not even one time. I literally knew I was going to make something of myself. I literally knew it for a fact. Because I can't work like that, be as talented as I was, and not make a huge splash in this world. It's just not possible. So you guys got to be putting in that kind of work. That's when you will have that type of confidence. Confidence comes from your own actions. And guess who's in charge of that? Us. So anyways, guys, I hope this video could help, encourage, motivate all of you, and inspire. Y'all know what to do. Stay safe, stay tough, stay strong, and God willing, God bless. We'll see y'all